Hello there, welcome to my channel. My name is Nyawera Mwendo and I'm glad you're able to join us today. Now, the pain of loss can feel overwhelming and we are all bound to face it at some point in our lives. Whether it's a loss of a property, a job, a relationship, a loved one, or even divorce, whatever type of loss you have suffered, there's no right or wrong way to deal with it. And that's why today we are joined by Lily, who's a counseling psychologist, and she's going to help us understand more about the topic and even give us healthier ways to cope with the same. So don't go away, I'll be right back. Karibu sana to my channel. It's good to have you today. Maybe we can start by tell us about yourself and your work.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure. My name is Lily Namarome, and I'm a mother of two beautiful girls. And I'm married to one husband, yes, Ken Kitonga, and I'm a counseling psychologist. That's how I found myself here today.
All right.
Yes.
I know it may seem obvious, but it's important we define what loss and grief is. So, from your experience, what is it?
Loss is the state of being without.
Okay.
And then now we go to the grief. So when you hear loss and grief, then the grief is the emotion that you experience after you've lost. So I've lost my limb, the emotion. How will my left? I even start thinking about this ring. Where will I be wearing my ring? Maybe if I love the watch being on my left, I think about now I'm grieving that emotion.
Yeah.
So I have the emotion and that process. So grief is that emotion, grieving is the process. Yeah, so then there is something important, mourning. Do you know we usually have mourning and bereavement? So bereavement is when I have now lost a person through death. Yes. Mourning, it can be, I could be mourning a marriage that I had. Someone who's even undergone separation and divorce, that's loss and grief.
So, what are the stages of loss and grief? And are they always in a linear curve as perceived?
Okay. For loss and grief, majorly psychologists love drawing back to an author known as Elizabeth Kubler-Ross because they say his studies, whatever he found, were valid. So there is shock, there is anger, there is denial, okay? Then you get depressed, and then now anxiety. The stages are not linear.
All right.
You can't draw a line until I'm in shock. Then I'm expecting after shock, what next? I'm going to go into denial.
Yeah.
People, denial is coming. No, actually, that doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
But of course, a therapist can see when you come in and you start talking. I can see, yeah, this person is struggling with denial stage. Maybe I can use your experience.
Yes.
Did someone call you?
Yes.
The moment you get that phone call and you say hello, you know, we outside here, we don't know how to communicate. And you get that phone call, it gets to you as a shock. Like, what has that person said? Is it true? You know, nowadays, it's why you're like, wongo. Do you know that thing when someone just says like, wongo?
Yeah,
And then they're like, you are in shock. You're trying to absorb. There are people actually, when now they get into that shock, pain stops. Immediately you start thinking, how will we bury? Where is he? Who was he with? So for us, when we lost our brother, he was in Turkana.
Okay.
And we were expecting the death because he had a lifestyle disease, diabetes.
Okay.
And with the diabetes came mismanagement with alcoholism. And so we had seen him going down, we were expecting. But the moment we received, as much as we were expecting, there was shock.
I know.
And then we didn't grieve, we stopped. He's in Turkana. Who else is he with? So those are the stages people start thinking about. So that is shock. Then immediately you go into anger. You're angry, you don't know what to do. Then you start bargaining.
What could they have done right?
Exactly. And you're thinking, in the same state. And sometimes the first thing is shock. Then when you hear they have died, you start bargaining. Some people go into bargaining. I wish I did this, I wish I did this. And then to some extent, if someone is so spiritual, they start saying, boy, God, may I just pray you bring them back. Please just bring them back. I promise I'll stop my alcohol.
I know.
I promise.
Yeah. You're bargaining.
Yes, you're bargaining within yourself. No, where? How?
Okay.
Yeah? Then we go into denial. Okay, and you're saying, no way. No way, that is not the body. Have you gone to a burial where the bereaved looks at that coffin and Alexa, no, that's not him. Like, return my husband. This is not my husband. Some they say, no way. It could be him, but it is someone who killed him. You are lying to me. That person did not die out of a road accident. That's where we bring in the connotation. Alirogwa, the witchcraft, killing. We start putting them in a. Let me tell you, that time your brain, everything stops. It just stops. And then there you are, you're going through, eventually you are like, okay, fine. We are going to bury.
No, acceptance.
Now this is the trick. It keeps repeating itself. And that is something that people need to understand. That even when you meet someone who's lost, even if it's a job, you need to understand when you listen to them, the things they are saying. Where are they? Because that is what, maybe this will take us to the next thing. That is where now we look in at the intervention.
Exactly, yeah. At what point does someone need to go for counseling?
Okay.
Yeah.
One important thing again, let me tell you, there are facts about loss and grief that people don't know. I think maybe it's our African culture. We have we have sanctified loss and grief.
Yeah.
We hardly talk about it. Now, like for your case, you lost your auntie.
Yes.
And the circumstances surrounding it, maybe in African culture you're feeling it's not allowed, so we sanctify it. Okay, But there's some facts. One of the facts is this is a normal thing. It is normal.
Yeah, and everyone is bound to go.
We are all going.
Yes.
But then sometimes I think about it.
Yeah.
It is something that we
are all bound to go through it.
But then there is an abnormal reaction to it. And people are different. There are those who have the ability to absorb and bounce back well and then get back to their life. But there are those who get stuck. But notice, don't compare. And so it is good to have interventions early enough. Do you know even counselors are called in relaying the message of death? The way I would relay message of death is not the way you would relay that message. Because I have the knowledge of how this person is going to get into that shock, anger, denial. So the way I will relay it, it is different. I will even allow you to process it as I'm telling you. The children.
Very important.
African culture, we send them. Apana, and then mulete maji, wageni wanakuja. They're the ones who go for firewood.
Oh my.
But they also have been bereaved.
Exactly.
And so a counselor, a therapist will come in to help the family, to help them understand. We help them absorb, to actualize the loss. Like, may her soul rest in peace.
Yeah.
Her name is?
She's called Grace.
Grace.
Yes.
You even have the courage to say the name because you've actualized that death. Because there are people who even can't refer to their loved ones who have died by their names. Si amelala. Of course, in the spiritual realm, there are matters we call it sleeping. But we would want you to say death. Amekufa, has died. We'll make you say it until now. It kind of gets, not like we are forcing you to say
yeah, but you want to make them understand.
To actualize that loss, okay? And also now to know the support systems. Okay? Where I come from, once again, the Luya land, some people, neighbors, they take advantage of this loss. That's when they come. If you had a mango tree, they'll harvest your mangoes, And really the support system you need. You need to be assisted to identify the correct support system. Then to have the correct coping mechanism. And that's how counseling comes in. Then another point I would want you to notice that counseling comes in when someone is stuck. Do you remember my stages?
Yes.
For Elizabeth Kubler-Ross?
Yes.
If I get stuck at shock, there's a problem. Because there's a psychological disturbance. Remember, this is a normal thing, but a normal reaction.
Okay.
If I get stuck, now that is the shock, the anger. You will be venting at your husband, at your children, at your house manager, at that gate man. You can't tell. Well, you won't know. But a therapist will sit down, listen to you, and know, this person got stuck here. There is getting stuck at the denial stage. Depression. So that's how therapy
Comes in. Let's say now you're into grieving, and you're the friend. You talked about support system. Sometimes we do not know what to say. Sometimes we may fall back because you're thinking, I don't want to be off, I don't want to say something wrong. Maybe you take us, what are the do's and don'ts to say to someone who is grieving?
So some of the things we are asked not to say, don't go say sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. That's sympathy. And it's like you're taking that loss, like you're the one who caused it. I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Let's not be telling people who are bereaved, I know, I understand. You don't understand. It is not okay. That person is not there. My brother died of diabetes. Your auntie died of...
She was killed.
Yeah, of murder.
Yeah.
And I come and say, even me, I used to have an auntie. Let me tell you. My auntie, when she was killed, do you know what I'm doing? I'm reducing your experience. We can try to reason out with empathy and feel with empathy and you say the emotion. It sounds frustrating. It sounds so painful. When you tell someone, if you narrate your experience to me, it will sound painful, sad. Yeah. It sounds so hurtful, and you feel whatever caused the death, yeah, for your case, and you start feeling, oh God, it's so heartbreaking, because now I can't feel it. I would encourage you not to use God's will. Because it's scratching that.
Yeah, don't rub it off on someone.
Because if you tell me it's God's will, I will ask. Then why him? Why now? If it's his will, he should have waited.
Exactly.
Instead of saying these words, just find for them, what do you want me to do?
How can I be of help?
How can I? Even washing utensils.
It is.
It helps.
It helps. Just someone seeing you there. You may not be there next to them, but you're just in their presence. That's enough.
That's enough. Now we are told, don't talk too much.
Yeah.
Then you're going there, then you start asking, how did the death occur? Then,
You want the story now.
do you know the beginning?
Oh my goodness.
Repeats the story.
Yeah.
Pastor comes, repeats. Elder comes, repeats.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they are so exhausted. This is someone whose emotion is entangled. That is how their emotions are. You don't know, you are here, you want to eat, you don't want to eat, you are hungry, I'm not hungry. I want to see so and so, I don't want to see them.
Yeah.
Let me add another one. Time will heal.
Yeah.
Never heals. Time never heals. I don't know where we got that one from as a culture.
Yeah, how long?
They keep repeating it themselves, like itarudi. There is something I was reading and I learned that in every book, at that last chapter, the last page, there is a full stop. That's a full stop, okay? So that's its end. Think of someone's life. I always see myself as a story. So my story, it's been written as a full stop. When I reach the full stop, let me ask, when your auntie has reached the full stop, does it mean the first chapter doesn't exist?
It does.
All these other parts of the chapters exist.
Yeah.
Why do we want to say time will heal? And you forget. the memory you'll carry it all through.
Yeah.
Everything she did will live on. And when you come for therapy, I won't tell you stop that memory. And this memory includes the bad ones. Okay?
Yeah.
We navigate through the loss and grief in acceptance, and we get back to our lives.
Wow. Now, to someone who is not able to afford therapy lessons, how then can they feel supported?
Number one, it is the places people congregate together. Churches.
Exactly.
You have a women ministry, you have a men's ministry, you have CJ Youth What. The programs you carry out. Enrich your people with the right information. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes. Another thing is we can now, this is now creating awareness. You see what you're doing with this YouTube video.
Yeah.
People will learn, by the way, that's what I told so and so. I need to say sorry. I need to go back and say, I'm sorry I did this. Because true. Mimi mwenyewe najikubali.
Yeah.
I will urge anyone who's at a leadership position and they hold talks, even at workplace. You know, workplaces, we also need to inform our employees about loss and grief.
Yeah. And even hold counseling sessions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We call it workplace counseling. Nowadays, we see HRs going back to school to study counseling, psychology. But when we do it, of course, we aim to the productivity at the workplace.
Yeah.
And this is still relevant because if I watch my colleague being fired, that's loss and grief.
You did.
To me, I'm also grieving. That
Yeah,
could
exactly.
have been a very close friend. So even these people need to know, how do we communicate? They're not just working. It affects them.
True.
You know. So how do we step in at the places we've been given? Me, I always say, this is everywhere is my marketplace. I make small impacts.
Exactly.
You know, those are the ones which cause the ripple effect.
That's true.
Yeah, the story is told if you take a big stone, throw it in water, it just
Splashes.
Senior, it splashes and it goes, and it comes down. But you throw a stone, it's a ripple,
Yeah.
Please let's throw the stones.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So what are the healthier ways to cope with loss and grief? I know some people would cope differently.
Okay. I don't know, this is the point I would want to find out from you. How have you coped with your loss?
I think talking has helped me. Sharing with my siblings and getting to just speak it out. For me, that's what really helped. Also remembering her, by the way, and how she impacted my life and how the memories we've had together. And now when I think of that and I share and even I just pray about it, it gives me a sort of peace in my mind. Yeah.
So are there different healthy ways of coping? One of them is speaking it out.
Okay.
That's why, have you ever wondered, is a memorial service? What do people do really in memorial services?
Yeah.
We go and someone says, I knew my brother, the late, with his own rest in peace.
Yeah.
I knew Godwin. We met with Godwin when he was here. We did this with Godwin. He was
Yeah.
So when people talk about that, that's a coping mechanism, and it's highly encouraged.
Okay.
I also learned talking about it's not only the good things.
Okay.
Yes, even the bad things. They're part of that person's memory.
Yes.
And do you know how it will help you? It will help you navigate the anger.
Oh wow.
Maybe you remember, I remember this day we told our brother he needs to be admitted. And we even had to do a mchango for him for that hospital. But he ran away from the hospital even after the payment.
Oh no.
And he's dead. Talk about it.
Yeah.
And we sat together. By that time I wasn't into counseling.
Okay.
But we sat and we were thinking, because it helped us navigate the anger. How he had the pipes because the diabetes had, and the alcohol and diabetes, so it had done something on his spleen.
Okay.
And so he had a pipe. He still had the pipe and had the gut to sneak out of the house at night to go look for alcohol. And so talk about it.
Yeah.
because that's that person. Don't try to create a different person. Another thing you have said that it has helped you cope about it, of course, is praying. And the spiritual part is because we serve a God who knew that we shall all die. But the good thing about this God, he gave us a way out of this death. And so the Bible says, for we do not mourn, okay, as the people in the world, they mourn.
Yeah.
Because we mourn knowing there is a life. It also helps me to understand, how do I live my life? So you yearn for that spiritualness to feel it.
Exactly.
So you go back to that. We fall back, we Christians, okay?
Yeah.
Then the good part is the social support.
Yes.
If I die today and people don't attend that burial, it's going to affect my people. Because the social when people come, many of them.
Yeah, the social gathering.
Exactly, it
Yes.
gives you the peace, it gives you, like, it's good. So that is a way of mourning. It's a way of going through that grieving process. Another way is now this experience. We call it carrying the memory through.
Okay.
If you come in for therapy, I won't say stop thinking about that person, I will be lying. Carry the memory through. Remember my book with the full stop? Because now that will help you to know, yes, the person is not there, but this is how they've impacted my life and I'm going to use it for the good. Carry the memory. One way of carrying the memory is having that photo. Don't burn everything. Of course, when you move, you're moving on to the next stage and you're like, okay, fine. I've accepted the person is dead. So when I move, I can decide the clothes, I can give them away to a children's home. I can take this seat and auction it. If you remain even with a photo, that's memory. And if they are talking, maybe they have already buried the person, they are washing clothes. And they're like, I remember Lily used to wash clothes like this. She used to love hanging with the pink, only one color.
Yeah.
Let them go on with the memory. Don't tell the person, no, stop thinking about Lily. Lily is no longer with us. She knows Lily is no longer with us. So let them carry on with the memory. And also when the tears come, cry. You actually see, still in my culture, we are community. We can even mourn a person for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we've seen that.
Yeah. It's a very...
It's drama.
We call it drama, but in real sense, it's their way of mourning. I can use my example when we lost our brother. I didn't shed a tear. What happened? I was sweating.
Oh, okay.
If I could bend, because the news came when I was at work and I was expecting. So I will bend like this, sweat will drop on the paper. Too much pain, too much shock.
That you're sweating.
And you can't control it. I will take a pen. You see when you're writing and you lift, it leaves a print. So I called someone. She told me, Lily, you're crying. Like, I'm not crying, ma'am. And then the baby started kicking so much. And she's like, you're crying. Go take water. Drink lots of water. And she told me, actually, you are losing more. You need to replenish.
Wow.
And believe you me, I took 5 liters of water.
Wow.
Not at a go.
Yes.
A liter goes down. A liter goes down. We mourn in different ways. And those tears, let them out.
Yeah.
Take a walk outside. The sun is therapy. When it comes to sleep, take rest. You may go to that bed and sleep is not coming. Just be there. That is rest on its own. And when you come for therapy, you find the ways to go through this fear. Maybe you are so afraid even to face life because of that death. You go through it, but I don't have the answers. Gracie has the answers.
Yeah.
So if I reduce your experience, will you find your answers?
You won't find
I'll
it.
make you dependent on me. I don't want you to be coming for therapy sessions every time.
Yeah.
I want you to grow and find yourself and know, by the way, Gracie has all these things I'll manage.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's how therapy is so interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So even as we close this conversation, what will be your clarion call to people who are going through loss and grief?
Wow. So first, when I talk to the person who's bereaved, now through death, I would tell them, number one, feel the process. Feel it. You are not weak.
Yeah.
Don't shut that memory, move with the memory. The chapters will always exist, but that full stop, we can't erase. So that's the message I will give someone who's bereaved.
All right.
To the people who are the encouragers. Now let me talk to the encouragers.
Yeah.
I will say with social media and information, just try and find out before you rush to that person. What is my role? What are these ones that I should refrain from? The best I will tell an encourager, speak less.
Yeah. Wow. How can people reach you?
The easiest way to reach me is through WhatsApp, 0715 293 864. That is 0715 293 864. It's the easiest way to get through to me because even my Facebook pages, it's called Lily's Book Club, and I have Awaken Love Kenya. They're still linked to WhatsApp. So my WhatsApp line is always open. Anything you want, we will be there to work with you. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time. We've really learned a lot. I think for me, what I've learned is don't reduce someone's experience. And I hope you've enjoyed the video, you have learned. And for someone who's going through this journey, I know that now you have healthier tips of ways to deal with it. And so till we meet again, God bless you. Bye.